So a lot of people remember that you did interview Manson, but I want your personal recollections of it. So you meet him, first impression.
Well, there's no doubt that he has. First of all, how you doing?
I'm good.
Nice to talk with you, buddy. Manson has a kind of a macabre charisma. There's no doubt that he has a kind of the homicidal personality, but the magnetic personality of, say, a Hitler. He's like a mini Hitler. He comes into the room and he has the SWAT sticker, of course, between his brows. He's got those glaring, beady eyes. And the first thing he tries to do, even though he's only 5'2", is to get over on you, to try and intimidate me with his craziness. And he had an agenda. He had a big script, 4 pages he wanted to read. One of the reasons he's become so popular in a sick way is that he couches his homicidal maniac activity in the language of anti-racism or pro-environmentalism. If I kill enough people, I'll save the environment. So my impression was, here's a player, here's this actor, here's the author of one of the most grisly, the word you used, the bloodiest mass murders in our history, is a murder that everybody in LA felt very personally, profoundly. It led to the home security business in Los Angeles, which was up to that point just confined to most businesses. Suddenly every house needed to have home security. There was a paranoia. It divided the city. It led, I think, to a whole new generations of mass murders down the line, Bill.
Entertainment now is changing. I mean, when you got Barbra Streisand and Paul McCartney putting out new material, Carolla, and nobody bought it. Nobody bought it. They're the 2 biggest names in music. Nobody bought it.
Well, think about this conversation I had 3 days ago with my writing partner who works in Hollywood, where I was trying to come up with a joke. And I said, wait a minute, when were the Oscars? And he went, I don't know. And then I said, wait a minute, do we have the Oscars already?
Do you know the best picture? I just asked, do you know what was the best picture of the year? What?
I wrote for the Oscars for 2 years, and I don't know what the best films of the year were for the 2 years I wrote. I think one of them was Moonlight with the snafu with Warren Beatty, I do believe. But no, that's how little it means. And of course, when I was a kid, it was appointment viewing, show up at grandma's house. You had a color TV, everyone gather around and watch John Wayne, present.
Oh, you can still watch that on Turner Classic, then I do. You're a regular guy. I know you a little bit now since we collaborated and like that. You're not a Hollywood kind of guy. But you have to deal with those people, and you have to deal with the publishers here in New York.
You do and you don't. You do and you don't with Hollywood. It's very simple. You just say no. And you can do that. Yeah. Clive Cussler did it. They made one movie, he didn't like it. He just said, okay, thank you, I'm out.
The author, Clive Cussler, right.
Yeah.
You have had a few movies
yeah.
Made, but you're tough.
I've gotten tougher, yeah, because a couple of things that were made, I like the Women's Murder Club. They did a series on ABC, and I thought it was really bad.
Yeah.
And you know it, and I could look at the scripts and go, this is not going to work.
And they don't have enough respect or sense to run it by you.
Whatever it is, yeah. No, in Hollywood, the novelist rate somewhere below. I went to the first shoot for Along Came a Spider, and everybody was nice. Morgan Freeman was great, whatever, but I found out that the novelist rate somewhere below the caterer. They know why the caterer is there.
Right, at least the caterer bringing them something other than grief. So you have always been conservative, but you've worked. I mean, you're a good actor, and now getting behind this Hunter movie, are you afraid you'll never get any work in Hollywood again?
Absolutely, and there's been a blacklist. To say that there hasn't, and the hypocrisy of Hollywood, Bill, is that they've done more movies about the Joe McCarthy era when traitors were coming into our nation, as proven by Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a Democratic senator, when he made the Venona Project public. And meanwhile, they're doing the very thing they condemned to patriots and people that think differently. I want to lead a movement in terms of diversity of thought. You can have transsexuals, black, Hispanics, everything. They say, okay, we want to go this way, we have to put more people there, but not diversity of thought. And Screen Actors Guild should be held accountable for that, my union. And Hollywood should be held accountable. People like Norman Lear, who is an elder statesman, should say, you know what, this is wrong. We shouldn't demonize people that think differently. And it happens. I know it happens. You know it happens.
Everybody knows
and something
it
needs to be done.
Well, it's Katzenberg and Spielberg who are the ones that are, I'm not going to say they're actively behind it, but if they would say knock it off, Jeffrey Katzenberg and Steven Spielberg, two of the most powerful Hollywood moguls, I don't even know then, though. I mean, the bitterness out there, and it's 9 out of 10 that they hate you if you're not woke. They hate you. They want to hurt you. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it's I've never seen it so divisive.